So I wasn't gonna come tonight because
We what?
my body was like, girl, you better sit down somewhere. I was like, all right. But what I did was I used my black card for Planet Fitness and I went and used the hydro massage thing. Right? It's worth it. So I'm all right. So I'm gonna do two pieces. The first one I'm gonna do, it's actually a poem that I wrote and it's old stuff.
Oh, shit!
This is why we're doing what we're doing. Because, you know, so some of my church members and everybody can come out. This is old stuff, yes. This poem is called...
church member, we here.
No, I understand, but for some people may not. They ask me sometimes, you know, about it. And I invite them. I say, come. It's very expressive, but come. But sometimes it's expressive. We've had some very expressive people up here. So, this...
My bad. I told you on first let sometimes shit. I mean, darn.
So this first one I'm going to read is called Me Versus Me.
Yes.
This is me speaking to the voice in my head, you know, the one that tries to hold you back. So y'all gonna be able to relate to this. So, and in parentheses is old girl.
Women
and
who will.
in parentheses is she devil. So the reason I wrote this is because a few years ago, well, for years, I had writer's block really bad, and I've always written since I was a little kid. And I had writer's block really bad, so I went through a bad depression. And when I was coming out of my depression, I was like, okay, you know, I'm feeling good, I want to dance again and everything, so let me get a pen and try to write. So I get the pen, I try to write, and I have nothing comes out. And at this point, I'm getting my relationship with God back on track. And I realized that I had yet to believe in my heart and confess with my mouth that my gift came from God, right? So I said, well, let me do that. I'm like, God, you know, I'm tripping, help me with these words. So he said, what I need for you to do is, the anxiety and the girl that tells you that you can't do these things, she normally comes uninvited, unannounced, bringing unsolicited advice. So I need for you to call her first and have a conversation. It's time for a conversation, right? So this is the conversation. I never want to see you. I never want to hear from you ever again. And I know that might seem a little extreme, but this is my truth. See, because I was told, and I now believe, that change can only take place when the pain of staying the same is greater than the actual change. And girl, I'm in pain, so I have to choose. See, having you around, it's been fun. Hold on. So see, having you around, it's been fun, girl, and it's been entertaining too. With all of the drama you bring, who wouldn't want a front row seat? Such a theatrical performance you would display, free and unlimited showings of the same play, the same movie, the same show, all of the same parts that we already know. And just for kicks and giggles, why don't we give it a name? Based it on something cool like Insane in the Membrane. And no offense to Cypress Hill, because the insanity I feel, it comes from you. You see, I don't know why I allow you to manipulate and confuse what I know to be right. My spirit of discernment tells me that the devil is busy and Polonius says that I don't self be true. But that's a hard pill to swallow, girl, because all that means is I gotta get rid of you.
Rewind it.
Rewind it.
I don't know why I allow you to manipulate and confuse what I know to be right. My spirit of discernment tells me that the devil is busy and Polonius said so that I don't self be true, but that's a hard pill to swallow, girl, because all that means is I gotta get rid of you. So here I go to explain why we have to say our goodbyes. It's all clear now. That ain't Jiminy Cricket, that's Jesus Christ. So let's see how far I make it before I really start to cry. You see, I have to let you go because you told me my entire life that my family was to blame. That I needed to hold someone else accountable for my pain and for the mistakes that I made. I allowed you to be the judge, but I became the jury and I decided who would pay. I pointed the finger and ooh, I shifted the blame. And you were there rooting me on, telling me that what I was doing was okay, that all of them were wrong, and I was the only one that was right. I felt so weak, I was without control. But not you. You were strong, and you were scary, and you were bold, and you were always ready to fight. So I took comfort in you, because I was manipulated, and I was confused, and I was mentally being abused. Besides, you've been with me this long, what was I supposed to do, fight you too? Girl, you made me believe I could never win. No, not against you with all of your power and all of your strength telling me that I can't do what I can. And then you throw just enough Jesus in the mix to make me believe again.
Yeah.
False hope and fear of faith. You slick, girl. I give you that. You played me well. All this time I've been under your evil spell. I was blind as can be, because I honestly thought you loved me. We were one of the same, a union, on the same page, or so I thought. But every time I would say yes, you would say no. All this time I let you tell me who I am. I let you tell me whose I am and cause me unbearable pain. But then we would laugh when I wanted to cry, and then you would laugh when I wanted to die. And you almost won because I wanted to take myself out, if that meant taking you too. I was willing to sacrifice eternal life just to get rid of you. I believe that's what you wanted me to do. But I now know that we are not one and the same. There is me and there is you, but allow me to introduce myself. Hi, my name is Alana, and I think I have a few names for you too. When you think of anxiety or depression or pain, how about being called self-hate, self-harm, self-doubt? You like those names? Oh, please don't stand up. Don't do that, because now I'll stand up too. You see, the God I serve, he put a word in my spirit, and it goes, who gonna check me, boo? Hey. Once you are out of my life for good, out of my mind, I can finally be free. All of the evil that you bring shows me that you don't love me. So I choose to love myself. I choose to put me first. I choose to serve a God who loves me more than I'm even worth. So bye, girl, move on. I know you'll still check in. Get out of my temple, don't knock on my door, because you will never be welcome in this house ever again. Shout out to women who will. So this second piece is just it's just really my thoughts, right? I'm a single mom, I have a 10-year-old son, and I do this. If anybody, y'all know me, y'all know I do this. When it comes to this mother thing, I don't play around with it. But I know that sometimes for single mothers, switching between your energies, the masculine and feminine energies, is hard. Because as a mom, I'm supposed to be soft. I'm supposed to be love, right? I'm supposed to teach love, be love. But without a father figure in the house, sometimes it gets kind of hard. So I wrote this piece because one day I had to explain to my son when I went on YouTube and I was looking up different basketball dreams, right? Trying not to cry. And I took my son to the basketball goal, and while he was doing all this stuff, I explained to him that I better never, ever, if he ever has a child, especially a son, if the little boy's mom is there, it's because she want to be there. It better not be because she has to be there by herself. So I get mad sometimes, and I got to switch between these energies while I discipline him. That I'm also the same one to come and try to console him. And I'm like, man, I must look crazy sometimes, right? So I wrote this piece called "The Narcissistic Single Mother." Many times in a mother's life, she worries about the stability of her child. No, wait, hold on. I'm sorry. It's not right.
All right.
Let him use you.
Hallelujah.
Come on. Yeah, I love it. TeachLove Ministry.
Hold on, I'm not finding it. Okay, here it is. The narcissistic single mother. And I put a quote in the front by me. The next time you decide to judge a single mother for the way she raises her children, don't. Okay, so check this out. Each one of us is a whole. 3 parts, yet one whole. Mind, body, and spirit. So as a single mother who has been raising a young man for the past 10 years alone, I thought I'd shed light on a few things that aren't discussed regarding the hell we go through to ensure our sons and daughters aren't troubled, damaged, or have daddy or mommy issues. First, let me begin by saying there are 2 sides to every story. Just like the book of life, there is the law and there is the love. The perfect family dynamic consists of a 2-parent household. one where there is a holy and righteous spiritual balance of love and law. The marriage between the use of healthy fear or order and love or emotion is what we call reverence. That is what we are supposed to have for God, reverence. And it is a beautiful thing when you have two parents in the home and one takes the lead on one role and one takes the lead on the other. Now each one of us is created in love and law, so it is definitely in us to be both when necessary. In everything we do, we lead with one and support with the other. But imagine the mental and emotional strain when you have a single parent who has to be the law, while at the same time wanting to be the love that rescues the child from the law that needs to be enforced by the only parent in the household in the first place.
Wow.
Confused? Let me paint a picture for you. While daddy is away at work, using his hands, mind and body, to make sure the household is secure, stable, and physically provided for, mommy is at home using her heart, body, and soul, making sure the atmosphere is love and the children and husband are secure, stable, and emotionally provided for. Cooking the food, washing the clothes, teaching the principles of love, those are all highly foundational and more spiritual than you can imagine. Sometimes the children don't listen and mommy gets frustrated. Mommy constantly corrects and lectures and disciplines with love, but sometimes the children are just unruly or she can't get through. Sometimes the lack of intimidation that is natural and maternal is not enough because these kids know their mamas would rather love them than hurt them. So when daddy gets home, mommy snitches on the children. And daddy comes in and disciplines with the law and get things back in order so that mommy can do her job. Then mommy can come in and give the love and make sure the children are okay because she still doesn't like to see her own children hurt. One body, heart and hands, love and law. Now imagine if mommy had to do all of this with her one body. Do you know how crazy we look sometimes? I am loving on my son one minute and then switching up the next to bring the law, which means sometimes I have to fuss, only to love on him the next minute because I don't like the hurt I caused him to have in the first place. I look like an unstable, narcissistic, crazy lady. Especially if I'm battling my own demons with no human resources. We are tasked to not go crazy every single day. But what else are we going to do? Sometimes we purchase things that you may think aren't necessary because we are losing our minds trying to make sure our children don't lose sight of our love, especially while we are working to provide financial stability and working to provide emotional stability. It isn't always easy. It really does take a village, not to judge, but to support and uplift. We need some encouragement out here. We are praying, we are trying, we are crying, we are doing what we can, and although we can always do better, we are doing what we can do today. It gets exhausting. But from now on, if you don't have it in you to find solutions to what you think are problems, take your judgment to the mirror and learn to carry your own cross. It's that simple.
Rewind.
It gets exhausting. But from now on, if you don't have it in you to find solutions to what you think are problems, take your judgment to the mirror and learn to carry your own cross. It's that simple. We need prayer and support, not another person who is covering up their own issues by complaining about the way someone else is raising their child. If there is a problem, help. We need love too. Because single parents are out here making it happen. Okay?
Yeah.